Welcome back, everybody, to the final ZSM Forum session, our open discussion and wrap-up. So I'll be passing you over to Nurit Spreker, the Vice Chair of ETSI ISG ZSM. Welcome, Nurit.
Thank you, Milan, and thank you for the opportunity to present the work that we have done so far in ZSM and a little bit about our future plans. I would like to use the opportunity to... One minute. And shared. I would like to use the opportunity also to thank all the presenters for sharing the information, for the preparation and the commitment. So a little bit to wrap up, and then maybe we could have a few more minutes for discussion. So a little bit to conclude what we heard today. So we heard a little bit about the market needs, and it's very clear that the deployment of 5G and very soon also 6G have triggered the need for radical change in the way that network services are managed and orchestrated. And full end-to-end network and service automation became an urgent necessity. First of all, to handle the increase in overall complexity, which result from the transformation into programmable, software-driven, cloud-based, service-based network. And also the need to deliver services with unprecedented operational agility and speed, and ensure all over the economic sustainability of the diverse set of services today offered by a digital service provider, which are all enabled by technology breakthroughs like, for example, network slicings and others. Talking about automation, the ultimate automation target is to enable largely autonomous networks, which are or network as a service, say Joanne has just talked about, with advanced cognitive capabilities and driven by high-level policies. And this network need to be capable of self-configuration, self-monitoring, self-healing, self-optimization, and self-protection without further human intervention. But realizing such a vision really requires end-to-end architecture and a new approach, which is designed for closed-loop automation and optimized for data-driven artificial intelligence algorithms. The ZSM Group Zero Touch Network and Service Management was formed in December 2017 with the goal to define a future-proof end-to-end operable framework. And here we heard about the architecture from Uwe presenting the 002, a modular, service-based, extensible, flexible, scalable architecture that can support the emerging and future services. It needs to define new solutions. So we have heard about end-to-end network slicing. We have heard about end-to-end service orchestration and automation, 003 and 008. And also to define core technologies that can enable zero-touch automation, for example, or the closed-loop automation with the mechanism to interact, to escalate, to delegate between different closed loops, to manage the life cycle management of the closed loop, etc. And to provide the intent to such an autonomous network, all the security aspects that can help us, first of all, to secure the automation processes and to increase the level of trust of the consumers in the automation processes. And all of these are needed in order to enable zero-touch automation of emerging and future networks and services driven by high-level policies. If we look at the ZSM architecture that has been presented by Uwe, it provides an enabling framework which is versatile and built on service-based principles, offers scalability, modularity, extensibility, and flexibility. It supports the transfer of autonomy from the operator to the user, to the network using intent-based interfaces. And we heard Magnus talking about intent-driven autonomous networks. It integrates capability and reusable patterns from closed-loop operation and coordination. So we heard about this from Pedro and Ishan and Laurent. Pedro provided the the enablers, and Ishan talked about particular solutions, and Laurent has talked about advanced topics in support of the zero-touch operational goal. And it provides means to integrate AI-based functionalities in support to higher level of automation, leading to operational autonomy. And here's the new work that we have started, which are about AI enablers, and Laurent has presented all these AI enablers. It's very, very important that the work that has been done in ZSM will be leveraged by related activities, because the work on the or the industry landscape for network and service automation is spread across multiple organizations. We have the ZSM, which provides the end-to-end framework, the end-to-end solution, cross-domain, integrating the different efforts that are done in the different organizations, like SA5, like in ORAN, like in BBF, like in ITF, can be implemented also by ONAP. And then we have all the core technologies, for example, the closed loop, the AI enablers, etc. And it's very, very important that the organizations that are using or playing a part of this end-to-end automation leverage these core technologies and work consistently with the work that is done in ETSI ZSM. And this is important, for example, if we achieve some closed-loop automation at the ORAN level, which is in the ZSM architecture becomes to be an ORAN management domain, it should be integrated into the end-to-end service automation. And we have also end-to-end automation, meaning that we have a closed loop also in the end-to-end level, and we can have also a closed loop in the cross-domain between, for example, the run in the core, and maybe even with the transport. And it's very, very important that we use the same mechanism to interact between the closed loop, to delegate to the different domains, and that we also be able to escalate if we cannot solve some of the issue and cannot satisfy the end-to-end service requirement. So alignment and leverage of synergies across ZSM, 3GPP, ORAN, TMF, ONAP, etc. And this is just to name the key organization, is essential to enable the orchestration and automation of end-to-end services, ensure adaptation at scale, and accelerate time to market. And this is a call for the different organizations here to work in close collaboration with ZSM and to ensure that we can achieve holistic, consistent, and valuable end-to-end automation. By this, I want, first of all, to refer to additional material that exists in the ZSM portal, and this is open to everyone. The ZSM technology page, ZSM wiki, published ZSM specification, draft specification, and you can have additional information on the ZSM portal. All of this will be accessible via the presentation that I will submit later. Of course, if there is any question, please don't hesitate to contact the leadership team. Klaus is the chair, Christian Touch and myself are vice chairs, and we are very happy to communicate and work with the industry players and with other organizations. And of course, we would like to encourage you to join us in ZSM. The organization is open to ETSI and non-ETSI members. You can join and help and contribute and help us to shape the future of the industry in a good way, in a quality way, in alignment with what is happening in the different organizations, and ensure that automation becomes a reality. So this is from my point. Of course, if there is any comment, questions, I would like to encourage now the discussion.
Thank you,
Nura. And we have, maybe we have with me all the panelists from the speakers that can help to answer the questions.
Thank you, Nura. We've got one that's come in from Jean-Michel from Orange. He's asking, on which topic are you searching for synergy with ORAN?
So, for example, I would expect multiple aspects that ORAN will submit services to the end-to-end service operation that will be able to give intent to ORAN domain what needs to be achieved to satisfy the end-to-end service requirement, and then that will be able to understand if this is assured or if there is an issue to escalate if there are some issues and interact. So this is an area where we believe that it is important to see the alignment. We also know that SA5 provides particular aspects for run automation. SA5 work is fully aligned with the ZSM architecture. It is service-based. It provides services for control, services for orchestration, integrating also NFV and ONAP together. SA5 provide also services for analytics, and it's very important to ensure that SA5 and ORAN can consume and provide services to each other to provide the overall needs for the ORAN domain management, and then communicate with the end-to-end service operation in a consistent way.
Nurit, if I can, I'd like to add on to that for this question. When
Please.
it comes to ORAN, and ORAN has to use closed loop automation. I mean, if you look at the R1 and the R apps, that's actually very highly dependent on closed loop control loop technology. There is also, I think, intent could also be important for ORAN. The work there, I mean, it's been indicated in the ORAN work groups, but the work there hasn't come that far. So I think that ORAN could also benefit from ZSM in that respect.
This is an excellent comment, Magnus. I fully agree with you. Within the ORAN, we have a closed loop. A closed loop is set up by collecting information, for example, via the O1 and via the O2 from the cloud management and orchestration. And then we have the analytics, which may be performed by a SA5 MDAS service or by the R apps, which are running in the non-real-time RIC capabilities. And then you want to trigger some action, either intent to the near real-time via the A1 or policy to the A1, or some actions via the O1 and O2. And we need to ensure that we have a consistent mechanism that work in the overall landscape. And also, at the end of the day, ORAN provides the ORAN management domain. It is part of the end-to-end solution. The end-to-end service operation will provide it some intent interface, via the intent interface, the goal, the desired goal, and this will become an autonomous network, and then it should, again, also escalate if there are issues to achieve that, or if there are some considerations that need to be taken into to account or whatever. So working in close cooperation, leveraging common and core technologies, this is something that we just recommend to do. Maybe also one comment on that. ORAN has started working on the non-real-time architecture. Today, the document has two views on the architecture. One of them is aligned with ZSM. It's a service-based architecture. We would like to encourage from here also to leverage it completely to ensure a smooth integration of SA5 work, smooth integration of the ZSM, and by the way, of the other domains as well, management domains. Milan, is there another comment?
Not at the moment live, but we can go to a previous comment, which asked, is there any progress around machine learning and deep learning and GDPR? It's a catalog of machine learning and deep learning knowledge models for network optimization based on personal data.
Okay, Laurent, maybe you could take it?
Yep. So I provided answer in the chat, but I can repeat it here. So I'm not following closely enough to provide an insightful answer to this statement. Nevertheless, there are a couple of activities I'm aware of. One is in the TMF, AI and Data Analytics project, where they have specifically a stream on data governance, and they are in fact investigating such aspects. So this, I mean, I may refer the commenter to this activity, and the other activity is happening in ISO IEC. You have the SC42, which has also a number of documents touching various aspects of AI governance, but this is broader than just the field of telecommunication. And I think you can also find relevant information there on the relationship between the use of AI in different technical environments and different regulation you can find on the use of data, especially for privacy aspects.
Okay. Maybe Klaus, you would like to give some closing notes also from your side as the chair? You're muted, Klaus.
I was muted. It's the normal trick. The normal trick. Or trap, not trip, I have to say. Yeah, well, it was a good session this morning. Thank you for your participation. It was a good start in the week as well. To start with a very interesting topic in the week, talk about automation. I think if you compare what we achieved so far as we started with the ZSM initiative and until right now, I think it's really a good achievement, also based on good feedback from other organizations and good contributions from people and companies. I'm really happy to see how we're moving on, and for sure, not everything is done, definitely not, but it's a long journey to go, a long way to go, and I think we are in a good way to achieve what we are promising to achieve. If you have any further question, please get in touch with us. You got the contact details from Nurit on the last slide, and it would be really great if you're sending your open questions or open remarks. And if you have an interest in joining us, we are open to join and come on board. Come on board and drive the train of change forward with us. It is a really interesting topic, and it would be great if we can do that jointly, and jointly also with other organizations like the ORAN folks or the ONAP, or definitely our friends from SF5 and TMF. Yeah, that is my closing words, and thank you for all the speakers. Thank you for Nuri to organize all the things. And it was well done. It was hard effort. And Milan from Lea, I want to say thank you for all that you gave us the opportunity to present our work this morning, and if we can just discuss it also with a wider audience. And the day is not done. After the lunch, coming other ISGs, NFV will present their stuff, and please join them as well.
Maybe just a more comment from my side. You said that there is a lot of work to be done. It's very, very critical. If we just heard the presentation from Joan about the spaghetti and the need to move to network as a service. So this is really enabling that and help to achieve that and open up the network also to third parties. So the work is very, very critical for the success of the future. And joining us, of course, to the ISG, this is something we would like to welcome and encourage everyone to do. But also you can join us by demonstrating some POC. In order to demonstrate POC, you don't need necessarily to be part of the group, but you can work with us and help us to produce these POCs and, of course, to learn from that and feed the information back into our own work. So please join us and help us to progress on this important effort.
Thank you very much, Nurit, and thank you, Klaus, and thank you all of the ZSM speakers. All of these sessions will actually be running on demand on the Swapcard app. So please do continue to view, and if you've got your questions, please do send them on to either directly to the ETSI speakers. If you send them on to us, we'll be more than happy to forward those on as well. Thank you very much, and we look forward to working with ETSI ZSM again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.